Hi guys, welcome back to another new games review. I've got 4 things to look at today. Out of them I see a couple of bangers. I'll show you where I think those bangers are. We're going to start with the Remnants. They're coming in hot first. Now, I actually like what I've seen so far of the Remnants. I had a bit of a chat to Studward. He's in the UK, so it was super early for him in the morning. But I like what I see. I do like what I see with the Remnants. So these did a pre-mint by pre-mint, early access mint in December. I believe it was somewhere around the 22nd, so just before Christmas. And they minted at 0.6, did half the mint. And then they did the remaining like a week ago, my time. So it's the 19th of January. I think it was somewhere around the 8th of January. I didn't have a chance to research this paperwork. Having researched the paperwork and done it, I probably would mint. Now, it minted at 0.6 for the early and 0.8 for the January. That's a good price. If you actually see what they've got, what they're doing, I'm really impressed. So they've actually got a loot cycle at the moment and some in-game things to do. Now, it's not a huge game where you go out and you're playing something constantly all day. It's more of a click and collect kind of thing. You do your every 4 or 5 hours log in, do something. And I've got to find out yet, is it computer and phone? Is it built on Unity? What it's built on? I didn't find that out. But we will be trying to get these guys on stage at Grape. Just from chatting to Studward, I'm happy and I'd love to get him in at Grape. So we'll go with that later on down the track. But what is the actual game? We see here 4,000 survivors living on the Solana blockchain. Explore Longwood Valley now. There's a Discord, there's a white paper. And they're on the marketplace, of course. So they actually hit something like 5 Solana yesterday. It went through the roof. Apparently, it was a bit of a pump and dump from possibly some influences on Solana. So these are things that games are attached to money, and money in a decentralized world. People can do these things. If you're buying into a project, it's good to do a bit of baseline research. So if you see this minted at 0.8 and it's gone to 5, you need to make a very strong question, do I buy at 5? Now, on the flip side of that, it's gone down to 3.2 Solana. Do I buy at 3.2 Solana? That means it's 4 times from the original 0.8, and they've got rarities and ranks and all those kinds of things, and those rarities are going to play out in the game. I think if you get a weapon that's more rare, then you're going to have a chance at beating someone, have a higher chance at beating them in the 1v1 battles that are coming out. So they've got a loot trip cycle which happens in this Longwood Valley. And talking to Stud, he was saying that they were watching a shitload of Walking Dead when they actually created the game and the concept behind it. And you can kind of see that if you look at this and you look at some of the pictures that you see early. So the map's very basic, and these loot trips that you do, they're getting, it looks like cards, and they come into the game. They've got a game token, and I think what was it called? Camp, C-A-M-P is the ticker for that. The prison even reminds me of The Walking Dead, one of their seasons. I love that TV show. That's one of my top 10s, maybe, top 10s. But it'd be interesting to see where they go with it in the years to come. Now, you get these cards, and later on down the track, I think they don't have liquidity for the coin at the moment, and they don't have staking for the coin at the moment. So there's a lot of extra things they're going to be adding into the team. They've got a team of 7 at the moment. I think there was 2 co-founders. They are in their mid-20s, I believe. So Studward sound awesome. He does sound keen. He sounds on the ball for what I had to chat to him. And like I said, I'd love to get him at Grape, have that half hour, and see where it goes from there. But their roadmap. So what I want to talk about, I guess we'll have a little bit of a look through their white paper, because the white paper's got a whole lot of good shit in it. But it does talk about how they mint it out. It talks about the camp. And when you get an NFT, it gets you the camp, and then that camp updates with what you've got. It's not really sort of simple. There is a lot of stuff to it. Now, some of the basics that we need to look at is you've got 6,000 followers. They joined in October. They've done 1,500 tweets. They're active. Very low numbers if you think they've done a successful 4,000 mint. So I think you're going to find those are actual members. If you go into the Discord, let's find the Discord, the Remnants, 6,625. Like I was saying, they've got a 4,000 mint. So how many people have multiples? I'm not really sure. Or any of, like, this is my first day actually researching and looking at it. A lot of people have been happy and talking about it over the last couple of weeks since the mint, and that's why I'm looking into it today, because if you've got a lot of people happy with it, then really that should be enough to trigger me to go and have a look during my new games reviews. So you see some links here. The Remnants, what is it? NFT project, 4,000 post-apocalyptic survivors living in Longwood Valley. So at the moment, they've just got a male. It's an all-male 4,000 survivals. I don't think a mint of 4,000 NFTs is enough to make a game survive long-term, but it sounds like they're very adamant to let the community decide if they're going to bring in a female, if they're going to bring in a breed system, how they're going to grow the platform, if they're going to want to rent out the NFT so other people are playing the game and then you're earning a passive income. All of these things games are going to have to develop and experiment and actually go to the people at the start and find out along the way. So gamified utility platform. There's a couple of good words within there, gamified utility. So it's sort of showing you it's just a gamified way of interacting. It's not a huge immersive sit there for 4 hours straight playing the game. That's not what it is at the moment. Whether it builds into that or not, who knows? And this was one of the first pictures that you go Walking Dead and you go, yeah, that makes sense. Features available now, the camp, and then you can do these loot trips. Longwood Bank, I think that's going to be where they're going to do single coin staking, wager against other remnants in a winner-takes-all model. So that's going to be 1v1 fighting. I think they might be able to bid versus maybe Solana, maybe camp, maybe in-game assets. Purchase the remnant and camp upgrades from the marketplace and companions. Companions are always in pretty much most things. So the key interface will show information including the balance of your camp, loot, key amount, and the items in your inventory. So loot, key amount. So I don't know whether the keys are something important, I think. Now, the variable features in your camp include tent, campfire, storage, protection, walls, and more. The camp will be available on release. All minters will be airdropped a base level camp NFT for free at our second drop. Final minters must mint with a camp. So I'm going to leave it kind of there for you guys to go and degen and have a look at it afterwards. You can see some of the rewards. These come out as NFTs. I like what I see. I mean, the actual Valley loot drop seems basic. For me, when I heard about the game, I didn't have time to research it properly in December. So I went and looked at the pixel artwork and thought, yeah, no, not me. But having come back to it now and having a chance to actually have a bit more of a read, and you see they're fleshing out, and the next 4 weeks is going to be massive. Chatting to Stud today is they've got a whole lot of extra things they're going to bring in. So you have a look at proposed features. There's going to be a whole lot of extra adaptation for the game coin, where they go from there. So it looks good to me. You can see the activity about 4 hours ago. Let's have a look here. They've had a shitload of volume. So it's only 8,600 Solana. It's been up for a while, but they've had a lot over the last 24 hours. So there was a lot of action for them, and that would have been good for the team. So let's have a look now at Shadow Looters. Now this one, I did have one of the team members message me at Grape for potentially looking towards some kind of an AMA coming out. So 119 followers, 9 tweets, joined in October. That's a flag right there. Let's go and have a quick look at their Discord and see the numbers there as well. Shadow Looters, very low numbers in here too, right? So you've got 584 numbers in here. So that's very low on that side of things. Now, they talk a whole lot about being a game. So gamified integration with IGO, NFT staking, NFT utility, so there's a typo there, and a series of rewarding tournaments on Solana. So I've seen a lot of negative things from this, and I would need the team to come and talk to me to go too much further down the track. They had a good link up here with Elementals, which were pretty big. I know Grape did an event with them, and they donated heavily to the Grape crowd. But there's not many tweets for being here since October, and what I don't like is you're not actually seeing much about the NFT, or you're not seeing any gameplay. And what actually concerned me was how they're talking about in here, the Medium article. You read through it, there's a whole lot of talk about the gameplay. This is actually one of their NFT artworks, like that's just very basic. Going back here, where is the NFT fact? Shadow Looters NFT collection is of 5 clans: elves, fighters, warriors, Vikings, archers, and ninjas. Just sounds all over the place to me. Mint 5,000, 1,000 per clan, so 1 in 5 chance, different types, 5 different characters, but there's no mint time, there's no mint price, there's no variation. We don't know what they're going at. 5,000, it could go for half a Solana, and I think that might be high off the information. I think this is a very risky potential early on. Now, what other information is there for me to look at? So there was a lot of talk about gameplay modes, different modes of gameplay. So it sounds like they've got either a lot of developers or they're far along in the production, but then there's no proof of where is this gameplay. Game features again. You can see the looting pathway, and they talk about this. The tokenomics, the picture for this didn't impress me. IDO 10%, private 9%, public 3%, team 8%, advisors 5%, foundation 20%. And it does talk about the vesting and all of that. So it's not instant access to these coins. But what was really makes me worried is they're going to be doing a Mango-styled IGO. So what have we seen from Parrot since they did their Mango-style platform? We've seen Dick. I've been left holding a whole heap of Parrot, whatever the coin is called, PRT, whatever it's called. I paid 4 cents. I think it's 0.8 of a cent at the moment. So, like they come out with these big things. Aurora came out and made $108 million in 3 days doing this style. So if a game like this gets these kinds of launches and the community is paying, it's risky for the community. Like these guys got $5 or $10 million in doing this kind of a style. Why would they need to produce a game? I'm concerned about seeing this in a game. Very, very concerned. I haven't seen enough information to be even talking this is how we're going to launch, right? And this was some of the looters' art. This isn't good enough. Like this isn't good enough for the level of where it is, and then talking IGOs and all of these things. So I'm going to leave Shadow Looters there for now. I'll challenge the team to come and talk to me and see to make some of this stuff better. But really early numbers, early supporters, a chance to get in and maybe go and ask some of these hard questions. Now, the Beast Fightclub, these guys have approached me for an AMA, potentially. Or maybe coming into one of our Solana Gaming Saturdays shows. Now, they're minting in March, so that does make me happy with the fact that they're not minting now in January, and they're approaching me. Chatting to, what was the gentleman's name? Blue Pills. I was chatting to Blue Pills several times. He's been really cool in trying to chase me down. Everyone's busy in the space, and he's been really polite and trying to get a hold of me and chase. The artwork for these guys looks good. It's a werewolf series. The NFT is going to go through like transmogrifications. You're going to send it away with their game token, and then it's going to become a Generation 1. You're then going to send that away with more game coins, and it's going to become a Generation 2 and a Generation 3. As to what that does in the game, I don't really know, but the artwork looks really good. The problem is, I don't see where the game comes in. It's talking about a card game, and I don't see whether that's anything special, and it's going to be in their phase 4 of the game. So like I said, some of the artwork looks actually pretty cool. But is that enough for these PFP projects that are saying they're going to be gaming projects? I'm not really too sure. My opinion's not out yet for BFC, so I'm going to be very open and blunt with a lot of these projects, because I think 5 to 10% of these projects will deliver something. If they're making millions of dollars, it doesn't matter whether they deliver anything, because they've got money in the bank to pay for 10 years of wages and earnings, and then maybe they might put that into another project and maybe not produce another one. So there's a whole lot of things to look at with all these new projects. Does that mean there's still money to be made on buy flips? Maybe, of course, maybe. This is crypto. There's degenerates out there. But be careful with a couple of these other ones. I like the looks of Remnants. Now, having a look at Neftify, I think these guys did well in the Solana Ignition Hackathon. And it is lend game NFTs and earn yield on play to earn rewards. So it's going to be an NFT lending platform designed on you being able to lend via their platform, and then they go and lend it to someone else who then goes and lends it to a player or finds a player. So there's going to be profits all the way along. Looking at it quickly today, The only research I could find into it is to do with an Axie loan program. So it must only be access to Axie at the moment. I've sent a message to the team, and obviously they're building on Solana, and Axie is a team but it looks like it's a 25% earning from staking your Axie with these guys. So I think usually scholars and so the people that own the NFT and the people that are borrowing the NFT, I think it was a 50-50. So owning an NFT and staking here, it sounds like you don't have to do any of the work and you're making 25% of the SLP profit. So as to who earns what, I'm not sure. I'd love to talk more to the team because I think these borrowing and lending protocols are going to be super, super important. Another one is IQ protocol that we hear about. But you can see here, earn money, become a lender, and it does talk, deposit your Axies, earn yield. So I can't see anything that says at the moment they're doing anything more than Axie. But one of their newest articles last week was talking about how they've linked up with Chainlink. And we know Chainlink is getting very heavy with a whole lot of projects in Solana with games. I've seen several posts of them linking up. So that makes me happy seeing that. I'd like to know a lot more about Neftify. I've reached out to the team. Hopefully I can get a hold of them. But this is going to hopefully be one of these protocols that might give us a Web 3.0 way of being able to buy assets in a game that you think is a long-term hold. Like have a look at Aurorians, for example. It's like 20 Solana to buy an Ori. But then you've got to go and find somewhere to stake it, someone to play it and all of that. And I think that's going to be one of the first games that we're going to see returns on with owning big assets this year. But that's going to wrap up today. I think the bangers of the day is definitely Neftify looks promising as to where it's going. And Remnants, they are my big banger for the day. That's why I spent a bit of time on them. So this actually looks like a game that could interest me to buy it. When I research these games for you guys, I want to know, is it a game I'm prepared to play? Is it a game I'm prepared to buy and invest in? And where we're going to go from there. I love my chat with the team. I'm definitely keen to find out more. And as always, hope I've helped. Thank you, Mother, for the rabbits.